we're good.
All right, at this time, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. I will ask you to silence any cell phones or electronic devices that you may have at this time. Val, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Penny?
Here.
Commissioner Curry?
Here.
Commissioner Danio?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Mayor Villa.
Here. And at this time, I'll ask you all to rise for the invocation led by Commissioner Curry and continue standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you tonight to ask you to overlook our meeting. We also ask you, Lord, to please look after our first responders and be with them, Lord, and keep them safe and allow them to return home safely to their loved ones. Lord, and we ask you just to look out after our country during this time of turmoil through the elections, and please just lay your hand on our country, Lord, so that we can hopefully come back together at some point here soon. And Lord, I ask you to please bless us all. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and now we'll move to our first presentation of the night, and this is the National First Responders Day, which is actually taking place tomorrow. And thank you for your prayer, Commissioner Curry, to specifically pray for our first responders. I know that you guys have been in my family's prayers, especially in the topsy-turvy world that we live in today, and I know that this commission is fully behind you, our police department and our firefighters, and we fully support you. So we want you to know that, and we thank you for your service to go out and run strong into danger when others would run away and to protect us. So we are very, very grateful, and thank you for the ones who are here tonight to hear this presentation. So this is important from the whole commission, and so now I will read this proclamation into the record, and then if you would afterwards, I'd ask that you all, the first responders, join us up here so that the commission could take a picture with you. So this is a proclamation by the Mayor of the City of Holly Hill, Florida, recognizing National First Responders Day, October 28th, 2020. Whereas the City of Holly Hill recognizes the courageous and dedicated men and women that work to protect and aid the public during emergencies as professional first responders, and whereas first responders, including 911 dispatchers, law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, emergency management professionals, and search and rescue team members. And whereas every day first responders risk their own safety in the performance of their duties to protect our citizens. And whereas first responders are the first and best defense against all emergencies that may threaten our communities, and whereas first responders are ready to aid people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless of inclement weather or other hazards. And whereas first responders are highly trained, specialized workers who contribute their excellent skills for the public good. And whereas the members of first responders organizations undergo extensive education, training, and make significant personal sacrifices in order to achieve the expertise required to respond to emergency situations. And whereas in addition to maintaining safety and order in times of crisis, many first responders also enhance our communities as volunteers for service organizations, churches, and schools. Now therefore, I, Chris Villa, Mayor of the City of Holly Hill, and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim and recognize October 28th as National First Responders Day and encourage all citizens to take time out of their day to show first responders how much we appreciate and value their service to our city. So thank you so much to our first responders. And if you all would come up to the front, if the first responders would come up to the front so we could take a picture. And Chief, you're going to have to find someone else to take a picture because you got to be in the picture now. Oh, yeah?
Equipment failure.
Mr. Forte. Yeah, we'll stand back here. You guys can stand up there. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you might want to back up.
Perfect. Thank you guys very much for your service.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, I'll give this to you afterwards. Thank you all for attending. We
Thank you
appreciate it.
very much. Stay safe.
All right, and at this time, we will go ahead and open up public comments. Is there anyone in the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Hi there, I am Heidi Heller of 460 Ridgewood Avenue in this wonderful future city of Holly Hill. I'd like to say thank you to the tree crew that I called Beth a week or so ago, and they came up Carswell. And it's only because an 18-wheeler went through there and whacked 2 trees. And I think we need to be careful and still aware. We want to be a business-friendly city. And once you have the 18-wheelers that are $500,000 each running up and down the streets, I'm hoping that the tree crew can do their job effectively and to prevent 18-wheelers having difficulty in our businesses becoming influenced. Again, I would like to say thank you for the tree crew to doing what they're doing. I would like to mention, though, thank you for Pictona for being very good. They had a big turnout. I was hoping for a little bit more, but things happen on a first-time basis. It's small. It seems like they were all having a great time, and I hope that we become famous for the Pictona. I don't want to become infamous because infamous is not what we want. And when the Bike Week was there, just as somebody mentioned about some events at the Christmas parade, there was some almost naked dancing at Chris's bar. So it's wonderful that
Chris's lounge, not my lounge. Just for the record. Continue. I'm
I
sorry.
didn't hear you. That's okay. And it was sort of like they came from the Pearson nudist camp and were dancing in the street. And I hope that we're aware of Bike Week events to not overlap the time that we want our good Pictona events at the same time and be more conscious of those type of events. The last thing is, Pictona was nice, but that's our own city property, and I've been a little bit of an advocate for bus shelters for the people to come and visit. Now, city property, Pictona is our own property. We're having Madison Bay build shelter, and the BOPA for Fountainhead, there's supposed to be a bus shelter there. Hopefully those will still continue, but I hope that eventually that our city can have its own shelter at Pictona on that side for the south side business. But otherwise, Pictona was great, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else in the audience that wants to speak to the commission about anything not on our regular agenda tonight? Yes, sir. Mr. Blaze.
Name Gillis Blaze, first responder for the city of Holly Hill back in February 1968. I live at 710 Magnolia. I'm retired. I live in my city. I support my city, and I support various organizations. Thank you, Mayor, for this proclamation, because I could remember when the pendulum was down that way, and today it's that way, and you finally recognize our first responder. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, members, council members, commissioner members.
Well, thank
And
you.
I'm glad to be here. I'm recuperating. Okay?
Well, thank you, Commissioner. All right. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak to the commission about anything not on our regular agenda tonight? Yes, sir. Just state your name and address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes.
Fred Campagnolo, 542 LPGA is my business. You want my home address?
No, that's fine, your business.
I just wanted to bring up something. We bid on the contract, and I know one company bowed out, and I just didn't know why we weren't awarded the contract. And another thing I just wanted to ask, I was made aware of recently, there's a new state law that says how much the cities can get from the contracts. And I just wanted to find out if anyone is that going to be on the new bid going out?
What I would direct you to do is contact our city manager, and you guys could speak direct, and he'll be able to walk you through that whole process. But we have not heard the bids back from the bid that is going out from now, so it wouldn't be appropriate for us to comment on that. But Mr. Forte, can you get with, what's your last name again?
Fred Campagnolo.
Campanola? Okay.
Because years ago we bid, and we never seen the ad go out. There was one ad put out one time, and we didn't see it, we missed it, and we were towing for you at that time. And it wasn't put back out to bid, it was awarded to whoever showed up, which there was 2 companies that time, and there was 2 companies this time.
Mr. Forte, do you feel it would be appropriate to comment on that now, or?
Yeah, we had 2 bids that came in, and a Daytona Wrecker was significantly higher. And then the day before the contract was supposed to be initiated, they denied it, and we had 1 remaining bid from Universal Towing. And I didn't think it was enough of a competitive process, so we put it back out to see if we can get more of the local tow companies to come in and put in a competitive price.
I'm saying it happened before, and it never was changed like that before. I was in the same position before where I missed it. I talked to the city all the time, waiting to know when the contracts come up. No one told us. Then all of a sudden they used to do it on Demand Star. They didn't do it that year. They said, oh, we put it in the newspaper, and we missed it, and Friars won the bid, which that's fine, but I don't understand just because only 2 companies bid. If they missed the ad, they shouldn't be allowed to come back in and rebid. But I'd like to bring and also if we are going to rebid it, are you guys going to look at the new law that the state signed in October?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with it, but I'm certainly going to look for it.
133, I think.
HB
I
133?
think that's what it is.
Okay.
I got it in the car. I forgot to bring it in.
Okay. And if you need more information, you can contact Mr. Forte directly as well, all right?
Thank you
Thank
very
you so much, yep. All right, is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak to the commission tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public comments and move to the approval of the minutes from October 13th, 2020. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the minutes from October 13th, 2020 in a second. We'll open this up to the public. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the minutes tonight? Seeing none, I'll close public participation. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Now moving to the consent agenda, items 1 through 4. Is there any commissioner that would like to remove an item from the consent agenda tonight? Seeing none, the action proposed is stated for each item on the consent agenda. Unless a city commissioner removes an item from the consent agenda, no discussion on individual items will occur, and a single motion will approve all items. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on any item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll close public participation, and I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Curry and a second from Commissioner Johnson. No discussion is needed. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Now moving to our regular agenda, Resolution 2020-R-60. Mr. Simpson?
Resolution number 2020-R-60 by title only for first and only reading. Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Holly Hill, Volusia County, Florida, approving a local government support agreement, summary of terms, and authorizing the city manager to sign and deliver the letter for inclusion in the FHFC application package, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mr. Forte?
I put in front of you the actual letter, the summary of terms that I would be signing. And this is for the Madison Bay Development Project for the senior housing that would be at the corner of 3rd Street and Ridgewood Avenue. If you remember last year, we supported this project. It was partially supported by Volusia County for $300,000 and by the city of Holly Hill by $260,000 for a 6-month short-term interest-only loan after the certificate of occupancy is issued. So New Smyrna Beach won that award, won the Affordable Housing Award last year. So they're coming back this year because the Florida Housing Finance Corp likes to see consistency and persistence in these developers applying for these applications. So it's very difficult for a county to receive an award 2 years in a row from an affordable housing project. So it would be very, very unlikely that this award will be successful in Volusia County. But we're going through with it just to make sure that we're persistent and consistent in making that application. So the terms of this agreement is for $460,000 for a 6-month period at an interest rate of 4.75, interest only for 6 months. At the end of the 6-month period, the loan would be repaid. So understanding that this may not have a good chance of being awarded this year, and again, this year, like last year, I was only made aware of this about a week before the application was due. I've asked the developer to plan and schedule a work session with the commission sometime after the first of the year so that we can really dive into what the terms and conditions are for these types of projects, because they're much different than they were years ago when I dealt with this, especially with Charleston Place. And even since dealing with Fountainhead, the terms and conditions have been changed. They're just different. So I think we get a good education out of it, and the commission would have much more advanced time to consider and negotiate those terms and conditions. So for tonight, I'm comfortable with making a recommendation to approve this letter of support and authorizing me to sign it and deliver to them for inclusion in their application packet.
Thank you, Mr. Forte. Are there questions for staff from any commission member? All right. And remind me, how much is the total build out for this project? About 20 million?
I forgot, I sent it to you this afternoon.
19 million, 19.5 million?
I can look it up real quick. It was, the hard cost was $13,481,000. The soft cost was $1,748,000. Financial cost $592,000. For the total development cost of 19,000, I'm saying thousand.
19 million.
Million. 19,450,714.
Perfect. All right. I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, from talks that I've had with Mr. Forte, affordable housing is extremely needed now, and basically this shows that the city of Holly Hill is supportive of this project, and we all know the project from back in September when we originally agreed to this, and unfortunately they didn't get the funding from the state. They were number 2, and so I'm behind this, knowing that probably next year we're going to have to come back and have a full talk about this with the developer and see what we need to do. But to have a $20 million first class project right there is I think a really great use of that property. So I just wanted to make that statement before I open it up to public comment. So at this time, I will open this up to public comment. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this item to the commission tonight, please raise your hand. And seeing none, I will close public participation, and I'll entertain a motion for approval of Resolution 2020-R-60.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Johnson and a second from Commissioner Danio. Is there any discussion needed? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries unanimously. We have no public hearings tonight, so we'll go to communications of our city manager, Mr. Forte.
Two things on my list. One is, at the next commission meeting is the swearing-in ceremony for the new terms for each of you. I talked with some of you, not all of you, but it seems like most of you are interested in having individual swearing in rather than a group swearing in. So that's what we anticipate doing, is we'll set time aside at the beginning of the meeting for each of you to be sworn in individually, invite your family and friends, select somebody that you would like to do the swearing in for you, bring your own Bible or whatever you'd like to swear in over, and we'll get that set. We'll do it at the beginning of the meeting. At that time, it's also when you select your board members and vice chair, so you got to remember to be prepared for that as well. And then the other question I have for you is, I believe, and I want to check with Stella this afternoon before the meeting tonight, but I believe we budgeted for an employee dinner this year. And I wanted to run it past you to see what your feelings are on where you wanted to do that. Last year, if you recall, we did it at Gina's restaurant. That's still on the table if you'd like to do it there again this year. You can decide tonight if you'd like, or if you're not prepared to decide tonight, you can think about it, and we can do something by the next meeting, and that should give us enough time to at least make arrangements.
Okay. I'd like to give it some thought.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any ideas?
As long as I don't have to cook.
No, I think it's good, always good to give things thought, but I think it's about the only place in town that can host us.
Yeah,
If we're gonna stay in our
That's
city.
true.
So your options are limited.
unless we did like catering at Pictona in the senior center.
It's,
I think that's even small.
if there's,
Yeah.
if we have
Yeah,
100
that's kinda
people, it would be difficult if we stayed inside.
True, if everyone came, yeah.
But yeah, we thought about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think there's no harm though in
Yeah.
deciding in a couple weeks. So
Okay,
unless anyone is jumping up and down. All right.
that's all I have.
The way I saw Joe and JP cooking at the Pictona, I'm thinking these guys ought to be able to do a
Yeah.
Christmas
Hey,
dinner. You
you
guys
had
were looking,
training.
you know, flipping burgers.
I've had a lot more training than last weekend.
I know. You're very good at pastries.
Well, all right. I'll start it off. I was fortunate to be able to visit the Pictona event, just as you brought up tonight, Mrs. Heller, and man, that was a cool thing to see so much life, so much energy happening over there, and 650 people sold out.
No, that's players, I thought.
Players, just players. Yeah,
Right, just
650 players signed up, and so that was pretty cool. And I believe about a week ago, Mr. Forte and I were asked to attend a very, very small signing ceremony to sign for the International Pickleball Tournament that's coming here in April of next year. And that was a pretty cool moment too for Holly Hill. And the comment was made, something about, Daytona Beach, they have the beach, and I said, well, really, they have racing. They're the world's the birthplace of speed, and that sport really, really took off and made Daytona what it is. And I'm not saying that pickleball may be that, but I think that we've positioned ourselves pretty well to be the birthplace of real deal pickleball, and I know that they're fighting to get that in. They're in talks now with the Olympic Committee to make it an Olympic sport, and so we may have a little role to play in that. And I think long-term history, 20, 30, 40 years, that may be pretty cool that Holly Hill can hang its hat on that. And, we're bringing a lot of people into the center of our city, and I hope that spreads out to all the rest of our businesses and restaurants as people have some time off from playing during the weekend and visit your shop and visit a lot of our other businesses. So I just thought it was really cool. It was a really positive thing to see, and just wanted to share that. And I also had on my notes to talk about the swearing in, to remind you all to make sure to invite your friends and family, whoever you'd like to see that. It's a very important honor that the voters have entrusted us to be able to sit up here, and sometimes the longer you do something, the more complacent you can get. But I try to remind myself every day when I wake up that God has given me a reason why I'm in this role, and I think that every elected official is in that capacity. So it's a pretty cool thing to have. So invite your friends and family, and that's all I have tonight. So we will go to Commissioner Johnson, you're first tonight.
Oh, it's up to me to do, oh, you missed Val.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have anything this meeting?
No,
Sorry.
she wants to go see This Is Us. She ain't-
He knows better than that, Scott.
Well, Scott never has any. I'm not going to ask Scott anymore.
That's fine. I'll let you know if I have something.
Right,
The
raise your
last
hand.
in
Nothing,
December.
right, Mr. Simpson?
I'm good.
All right.
Well, about, I don't have a
Houston
lot,
has
but
good
the
news in December.
main thing is it's coming down to where that we've been in this COVID thing long enough now to where
Sorry.
a lot of people are
I was trying
having
to-
problems. They're having problems with paying their rent and paying their utilities and things like that, and they had a lot of leniency on them for a while, but now they're starting to clamp down on them somewhat, and especially with the power companies and all. If you're in any, you know, if you're behind on paying your utility bill, so if you contact the power company, it'll make all the difference in the world. They won't just shut you off. They don't have to come out and shut your power off anymore. They can instantly turn it off with the computer and instantly turn it on with the computer. They don't have to come out and see where the meter is or whatever and worry about the dogs or anything. But they still have in their LIHEAP program, which is Low Energy Home Energy Protection Program, they still have $25 million in that. And they can help people that are behind if they'll contact them and pay their power bill. And also, what a lot of people don't realize is too, they have a Care to Share program that I used to push back when I was a mayor a lot. And a Care to Share program means when you pay your electric bill, if you just add $1, if every customer that FPL had would add $1 to the Care to Share program, just $1 when you pay your light bill, it would put in that Care to Share program, which is handled mostly by the Salvation Army, $50 million in 1 year. In 1 year, $50 million. Just think, if that's a dollar, just think some of the business could maybe put $5 or $10 or more into it. Think of what it would add up to that people would have to help them over the hump. So it's just something to keep in consideration, because it is, I think a lot of that is expired now, where you don't really have to pay your utility bills, or you don't really have to pay your rent and things like that. I think that little period has come to an end now, and so it's going to be a thing people need to remember. But what they need to remember is before they get a notice or get worried, they know they're behind. If they'll just make that phone call, then the power company will help them out and get them over the hump. And one other thing I have, but I don't know if I have anybody else besides me. I know there's a couple of people back here that from the towing company that has commercial driver's license, but anybody that has a commercial driver's license, not anybody, I got a notice, which I've had one for from a Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle, that if you do a 30-minute training, all the commercial drivers in the state of Florida can reduce the problem with the human trafficking. That is unreal how much they can do with that 30-minute training, and watch out for that human traffic. They'll give you all the signals of what to look for and things, that truck stops, different places on the road and things like that. So if you are a commercial driver's license, if you didn't get a notice, contact it says right here, I don't know, you guys probably got one as well as I did. It says right here, you can contact the Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle, which I'm sure the chief would help you with that to do it. And if you do that 30-minute training, you'll get a certificate, you're licensed to do that, and you can help with the human trafficking by quite a bit, and that is a bad thing anymore, you know what I mean? But really, that's a good thing, but it's for commercial drivers, but that's what you have. That's really all I have. I know we're doing good. We're doing good with the pickleball. We're doing good with so many things, and my little grandson's doing real good with his baseball tournaments as well.
Yeah.
He's hit a home run in Ormond tournament. He's hit a home run in Sanford Boombah tournament. Now he's hit a home run over the fence on all of them in New Smyrna last weekend. So he's coming on real good. So if you got kids, which you got one coming up,
Oh, yeah.
get them in for the sports.
Yeah.
Check that bat.
Yeah.
Check that bat.
Yours ready for baseball yet?
Take that back.
8 months. My dad already bought him a bat and ball, so.
But just keep that in mind, especially with the power company. If everybody will just donate $1 each, that's just $1 in 1 month, you know what I mean? If everybody would do it, every customer's $50 million would go into that to help the people out that can't pay the light bill, you know what I mean? Okay. That's all I have, you can go to whoever.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Vice Mayor Penny?
Thanks, sir. The theme of the night seems to be pickleball. I heard it from the audience and going to hear it from us. But I want to thank Mr. Forte. I don't know any other city manager that would take his weekend time and go volunteer at something in the community like he did. He was there most of the day Friday and most of the day Sunday. And I don't see our neighboring city managers that committed to the cause. And so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And he's been to Tractor Supply getting supplies for the community gardens and stuff on his own time. And so just thanks, Joe, for doing that.
It's my pleasure.
It's not like he lives a block away either. He lives on-
Well, I think Pictona is, and the mayor said, alluded to it, it's something that we need to hang our hat on. And I applaud this commission because the 5 of us were here, we were just in different seats when this came about. And it's one of the first times, I think, that I can recall that this commission has been forward-thinking. You know, we've all heard the urban myth, which really isn't an urban myth, that the city commission had chances to expand out to LPGA to 95 and didn't do that, and didn't, it's easy to sit here and be armchair quarterback and second guess things, but I think we made a fantastic decision to support that, and I think it's something that we're going to need to continue to support in the future. It is going to be an Olympic sport. We don't know when, and it would be great to have little old Holly Hill known as the home of pickleball. And I heard someone over there this weekend. They were a participant, and they said, "Hey," they didn't hear me. I was eavesdropping on their conversations. "Hey, Naples, which has been the home of pickleball, needs to step it up." They have more courts than we do, but they don't have any facility like we do, and it was recognized. And Heidi mentioned that she wanted it to be bigger. There's 650 players there, and they played till 12:30 at night because of the number of courts. So you can see where it may go in the future. They're either going to have to expand the days, or expand the courts,
Or maybe both.
or both.
Or shorten the games.
We'll just play bad players, I guess. But I think it has the ability to be a game changer for our community and an identity that we've been lacking, and it's something that we could all be proud of. It's a clean sport, and the people that came here, they didn't trash the place. There's not beer cans and soda cups all over the place. So I'm just excited about it, and proud of this city and the city commission for embracing it. So thank you all. So now I've built you up, there's one thing I want to ask you. It's been 2 years since I brought this up, and I brought it up 2 years ago, and it was met with crickets. But twice a month, the time between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock on commission nights is the most wasted time of my entire month. Because I leave the office and I wait for this meeting to start. Is it enough time to go home and cut the grass? No. Is it enough time to go home and wolf down a peanut butter jelly sandwich and get here? Yes. But I see the time as a waste. And I strongly would encourage this commission to consider changing the meeting time to 6 o'clock. Our BOPA meeting is at 6 o'clock. Many of our other neighboring cities meet at 6 o'clock. Some of them meet at 7, so it's not unanimous. But it's just, I know it was met with crickets before because there was some scheduling of the commission, work schedules. And I know most of us are pretty flexible. Mr. Johnson, I think you're off, you could be off at 4:30 or something like that, go home and take a shower. But just something to think about. I know we're not going to decide it tonight, but put in the back of your head, think about it, good, bad, indifferent, positives, negatives. But I sit around and waste 2 hours waiting for this meeting. I know the staff sits around and sits in their office and they're wasting time because it's a bad example because we're going to be out of here by 8 o'clock. But the difference between going from 7 to 10 and going 6 to 9 is huge. And especially for someone like yourself, Mr. Mayor, I have little kids, you know, it'd be nice to kiss your kids before they go to bed. So try to pull on the heartstrings a little bit there. But that's just my thought. Throw it out there. I don't know if you want to engage comments, Mr. Mayor, or we talk about it later, but just something that I think it would be most productive. I don't see anyone that wouldn't have the ability to get here. Most of the people that come to our meetings, I think, would be able to get here at 6 as opposed to 7. And of course, if you're affected by something on our agenda, you're going to be here no matter what time this meeting starts. So just food for thought. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Curry?
And I would not be opposed to that, just so you know. Obviously, I have a special place in my heart for first responders, so I'm glad that we were able to do this tonight, because that's been almost my entire life. I mean, shortly after Forrest and I were married, he went into law enforcement, so, and fire is right there along with that. So that I'm very happy that we did that. I want to just let everybody know the Christmas Club food packaging is coming up right around the corner.
Do you have a date yet?
Yes, I do. We're actually doing things a little different this year because of COVID. We, at our last meeting, had some brainstorming, and so on Friday, the 11th of December, they're going to be making boxes, and it's all going to be at R&R again. R&R is so into this. It's great. Their warehouse, they clear it out for us. It's a great partner to have, and I'm quite proud because it's in our city. Huh?
What day?
The food packing is on the 12th, Saturday the 12th, and they're running it in 2 shifts this time to try to lessen the number of people, but they're also doing 2 separate rooms of the food line to box up food. They're going to sign people up, and they don't have it prepared yet to do that, but from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. because it's going to take longer now that we're not allowing everybody there at the same time. And
What's the Friday?
Friday is just for box making. So if you can only go Friday, want to make some boxes, it's going to be that evening. I'm not sure of the times yet. Because, see, normally they would make boxes Saturday morning, and we would keep making boxes as they were filling. But that just puts more people in a concentrated area.
How
And
many people there on Friday,
we haven't done this before.
give or take?
You'll probably have at least, I would say, a dozen or more
Probably
people.
20, I would bet, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a dozen and a half, whatever.
Okay.
So I'll let you know as it gets.
I can't come, but I'll send some pies over.
I'll let you. Oh, well, that'd be great.
Yeah, I
You're
just-
such a nice guy.
I don't want to, if you got 100 people there, it might be a little much.
No, there won't be that many. But I'll get
Get
you
with me
the
on that. I'll
information.
send you a couple.
Okay, and then Public Works will again come. Mr. Forte is arranging that for me to pick up the food on Monday morning. They'll load the pallets of our boxes. We're getting 70. And then they'll help me deliver those at the the K through 8 school, UBIC, and then over here, I have to make contact with the senior people. Well, that's not over there anymore. It's over here now, isn't it? Are they still Meals on Wheels working out of here?
The Council on Aging still operates out of Seca Hall.
Okay.
The Florida Healthcare Senior Center is the more active.
Okay, then I'll still get with them over here.
We're trying to bring the two together, but right now they're still.
Okay.
What organization does that?
It's the Christmas Club.
Christmas Club.
It's basically Daytona, us, Ormond, South Daytona, and there's one other I'm missing, but I can't think of it right now. We do 700, almost 800 boxes for the entire community around here.
Is it like Operation Christmas Child on a local level?
Yeah,
But it's food.
but it's food. And there's a lot of people in our community that appreciate it. And this time of year, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be able to use it, definitely. And on to the next thing is Pictona. This past weekend, I was up there Friday observing as a commissioner, walking around talking to people. Saturday and Sunday, I was up there being a court monitor, maybe learning a little bit, because I love the sport. It is a fantastic sport. The enthusiasm from the people I spoke with that are from out of this area was phenomenal. I had people telling me that they've got friends that are already talking to realtors about buying property here, and I mean, just the economic impact is going to be phenomenal through the years here in the future from this facility. I think you're going to see more than just Pictona. I think you're going to see people coming in and buying up property to have a place close to Pictona. And Joe, your food was actually pretty good. That chicken sandwich was good on Sunday. I was impressed.
Made special for you.
But I thank you as well for all of your hard work that you've put in over there. And I just thank this commission for supporting that, because I think it is going to be a very good thing for our city economically. And with that, I have nothing more.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Curry. Commissioner Daniel?
Everybody pretty much said everything that I was thinking, but just to comment, I have no problem with 6 o'clock meetings either, so in case, I thought the Pictona was great, but I also wanted to say about, you mentioned about us getting sworn in and being behind this I've got more than a few customers that come in, and the last couple of weeks have been getting tighter and tighter. Today it was Bill Partington's wife, and I said, one more week, and everybody's all nervous. We don't have that. And I think it speaks volumes that our city has embraced us enough to trust us with some of the decision-making, and we're all getting in, unopposed, so it's got to say something, and I just think that's something to be said, and I'm kind of, proud, like you said, that we were supporting and behind some things in the last few years, and so we're moving forward. That's a good thing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so just keep moving forward.
Thank
Got
you,
a lot of
Commissioner.
positive stuff happening.
A couple things that I forgot to mention. First off, FP&L contacted Joe and I this week, and I didn't know if you wanted to speak about it, Joe, or I could just summarize it really
I was
quickly.
going to mention it and I forgot, but go ahead.
Yeah, we got a call that they still have some money left in their budget to help community projects, and so they contacted us to see if there's a project that we have in mind. So Mr. Forte is going through some of the projects we're looking at, and it's not a lot of money, but it's about $5,000 to $7,000, which is really, really generous.
Yeah, and actually, to follow up, Mayor, we don't have any money in the budget this year for any more lawn decorations, but we did have $3,000 in the budget this year for the Halloween trunk or treat event, which is not taking place. We're not putting any money into that. So with that $3,000 and potentially $7,000 from FPL, I'm looking to see if we can't get an artificial tree to put in front of City Hall for the holidays during the lighting ceremony, rather than the real tree that we've been putting up that a couple times didn't come out very well because of the type of tree that we got. It was very sparse and cracked, and so if we can look into something like that, I already spoke to Linda. She said that would definitely be approved. So if we can get something in a $10,000 range on a permanent tree, I think that'd be a good move, unless the commission thinks otherwise.
Yeah, I think it would be a good use of the money. That way we have a very, very beautiful tree that's top of the line that we can use over and over again. Take some of the headache off of Mrs. Manning over there. Aren't you the one that goes through and gets the tree? Or who does that?
Public Works picks it up.
Okay, Public Works. Yeah, I think it's a good use, but you all can get individually with him and talk more, unless you want to say anything publicly now.
I don't have a problem with it. Sounds like a
It's a
good
great
thing.
idea. I know you were looking at them one of the last conferences we were at, and we didn't have any money to buy one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Might as well make use of it.
Sounds good, Joe. Also tomorrow, tomorrow morning, I think at 11:30, we have Jet Bends ribbon cutting, which I went on their website. Jet Bends, what is that? And I encourage you to do it. Yeah, it cleans. It's a whole contained little, vehicle that then picks it up and jet cleans everything out. And
He's my neighbor. He lives 2 houses.
are you serious? Really?
I think it was pretty cool.
I think I might have to buy one too, and it's not very expensive at all either to get it cleaned out. And my trash can is horribly stinky, so yeah. But then other thing, reminder.
Run it over.
What's that?
If you want a new trash can, run yours over.
No. We have trunk or treat this Friday, which was brought up very, very briefly, but I think all of us are going to be there. So make sure.
I'm out of town.
I'm out of
Oh,
town.
okay.
Then we're not going to the same place, so I'm going to Virginia. Just want to clarify
So
that.
just wanted to make sure that that's announced. And the last thing, which you very briefly brought up, this is such a good time because we're only a week away from this election being over. Thank God. In all my
I
life,
approve that
this has been,
statement.
yeah, and I approve that message. This has been the dirtiest, nastiest, most horrible, from local, right, to state, to everything. It's been stomach turning. So thank God none of us had to go through that this go around. So with that, November 3rd is coming fast. Yeah.
One other thing I think we forgot, don't we have a car show coming up Saturday?
That's right. Thank you. Yeah, on Saturday, on Halloween, we got a car show right here at City Hall. Thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner. Is there any further business before us? With that, this meeting is adjourned.
That's like a
Oh,
world record.
right.
6, buddy.
I know. Hey.
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 6,